good morning. No, it's a great morning. The NFL is back, and this is the place for the best NFL talk on television.
Yes.
It is time to skip the BS. It is time for Undisputed. Time to talk Cowboys and Giants and Nebraska at Dion, and right now, Lions and Chiefs.
Let's do it.
Lil Wayne will join me, speaking of that song, as always on Fridays at 11:30 Eastern. But right now,
early on, to start this game, I tweeted, we're about to get a scary peek at what the Kansas City Chiefs look like without a true number one receiver, which is Travis Kelce. Has always been Travis Kelce. Mm-hmm. And as much as I would love to give Detroit all the credit, because they have really made some great strides. And you can go into the last night game and you can say, yeah, Jared Goff, man. Jared Goff outplayed Patrick Mahomes, 16 points higher in the passer rating. You can say, man, Detroit's, they won 9 of their last 11 games dating back to week 9 of last year, and that's all great stuff. But the only reason they won that game last night is because Batman didn't have his Robin, and Robin was sitting on the sideline, and Travis Kelce did not play in that football game. You know what I thought about? I watched, and we'll talk about Patrick Mahomes a lot today, but that one play that he had the football, and it looked like WWE. Somebody was all around his legs, and he still found a way to make that throw, and they dropped that pass. If that would have been Travis Kelce, that would have been the only play. Would have seen that play everywhere on TV all day. But you didn't have the Robin to make the other side of it. And, man, Patrick Mahomes looked mortal without Travis Kelce on the other side. So as much as I like what Detroit did, I got to say no Travis Kelce is the main reason that game went the way it went.
Well, I would back you up on that on the offensive side of the ball, no question about it, playmaker. Whenever you lose your number one guy, you have receivers, young receivers trying to figure things out. But then if you look at it on the other side of the ball, there was no pass rush pressure to Jared Goff all day long. He was able to sit back, put the baby to sleep, pat it, deliver it in sync, in rhythm. Yeah, you put that baby to sleep. You know how they pat it. Right. Deliver it within rhythm. And whenever you had that happen from a defensive standpoint, you knew that Detroit was going to feel a certain way. Now let's flip back to the offensive side and not having Travis Kelce. When you look, like Michael said, when he's on the sideline standing there and he's not able to help you, assist you on third downs, and you're going to Darius Toney and he's dropping the football, or you trying to find MVS and he's nowhere to be found, and you're just looking at a whole plethora of wide receivers that's new to you. You look at you look at Patrick Mahomes' Super Bowl win against the 49ers. He had Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, Mecole Hardman, right? Then you look at the one that he lost against the Bucs, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce again, the one against the Eagles.
The offensive line was going against the Bucs.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the skill position,
he had the boys out there,
skill position players he had. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Then you think about the Super Bowl against the Eagles. Juju was there, good NFL player. MVS was there, Travis Kelce. Pacheco was playing at a certain level.
Yep.
Now you look at last night. Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney, Justin Ross, Rashee Rice, and no Travis Kelce. You're not going to have that. And when your quarterback is leading your team in rushing, that should never happen, especially this quarterback. This quarterback.
Yeah. He doesn't even look to run. He's only running around to get a pass off.
And if you talk about a run, there's a run that he had last night where he scrambled out of the pocket, and all of a sudden you look up and he gave the quick shovel move and he kept going. The defense froze. That's Patrick Mahomes' signature if you're watching the highlight. But then you talk about balls off the receiver's hands, Skip.
Oh.
You cannot. And I text you last night because I knew you. I know you. I know you by now. I've only been with you 2 weeks. I had to text him, playmaker, and let him know. That is on the receiver. Let's not get back here and say, well, your guy threw a pick.
You're talking about the pick six.
The pick six. Yeah. You got to catch that. You got to catch that football.
But can we come right back here one time? You got to catch it. And all that noise, that rhetoric everybody gave us. Now, you listen, he tried to catch that in his hands in a pressure situation like we talked about, and that ball bounced right up in the air. And that's why I say on the plays I catch in my chest.
And then you sneaky peeking, and what that means is you can see out the side eye that Branch is there. You worried about getting hit. If you catch the football, you're not going to get hit. You'll be fine. Now, playmaker wants you to body it up.
I want you to body it up.
If you catch it and snatch it, because that was a perfect. I mean,
it is.
That's a handoff.
It is.
He basically walked up to
and snatch it. He needs to body it. He's scared.
He usually walks up to him and hands him that football just like that, Skip. All you got to do is catch it and tuck it and take the hit.
Yeah.
But because
you do that. That's different from him. We do that. That's different from him.
I know, but
they see pain. You see glory. That's the story. It's a different thing.
But he has to do that if he plans on being in the league and playing on Sundays. They have to elevate their game, and that wasn't the case last night. And as a player, and covering this stuff, Skip, when you make one mistake, you're still thinking about it. Now all of a sudden drops are coming because you don't have that confidence. You're thinking about, man, I'm letting the team down. You gotta, just like a quarterback throws an interception, a DB gets beat, you gotta shake it off. Next play. And that was the case with them last night, and that's why they got beat.
Let me explain this play before we move on. As Key is talking about this play, you run that on their play. You can snatch that ball. I can snatch that ball with my hands, but the only way I would snatch that ball with my hands if I'm a step back. Because once I catch it, I want to catch it quickly, right? I want to catch it quickly right now, and then I'm going to step around 32 and go up the sideline.
Yeah.
So now I'm snapped. Any other reason, if 32 a little bit left over and I can't get around them, I'm going to put this on my body and take the hit. Those are the small things I was talking about in pressure moments like this that makes the difference in games. That's what I was trying to make a point on.
And Patrick couldn't do it all by himself.
No.
In my opinion, he played well enough to win. They needed to help him.
Yeah.
So you start off talking about Batman missed Robin.
Yes.
Are we sure it's not vice versa? Are we sure that the guy who was missing last night is in Batman? Are we sure he hasn't helped make Patrick Mahomes? Are you sure about this? This is the man. This is the man since Patrick Mahomes took over, who has caught the second most balls in all of pro football to Davante Adams, who has the third most targets in all of football. This is the man who is 6 feet 5 inches tall, an inch taller than Keyshawn Johnson. This is the man, as great as Patrick Mahomes has been, who is the all-time ultimate security blanket in the history of football to me, because we agree he is the best pass-catching tight end ever. Am I right about that, Mr. Johnson? So you were texting me about Patrick Mahomes all through the night. This is a bad man. And at the end of the game, I'm thinking, tonight he was just bad man, as in bad, comma, man, right? Because he struggled last night without the ultimate security blanket, as the playmaker just pointed out. There were several throws where Patrick has gotten away with some bad habits because he is wildly talented, but his coach lets him get away with near murder because he will run around in the pocket. And by the way, he lumbers in the pocket, and he has some weird quickness gear in him. I don't know how he does it, because he looks like he's just lumbering. He looks like he's a 240-pound lumberer, and all of a sudden, they can't get a hold of him. And he has runs. He had a 16. Well, he's their leading rusher last night. But usually, when he escapes, he's looking for 87. Am I right about that?
Right.
That was a game that was glaring because there was no 87 to say, hey, when in doubt, I'll just throw it sky high. And he was wild high a lot to the wideouts last night because they're not 6 feet 5 inches tall. Am I right?
They're not as big as Travis Kelce, but you're completely wrong, Skip, in terms of he just running around wildly. Both touchdowns he set in the pocket and threw them in rhythm.
He was good. He
ripped it. The other one to the tight end, he ripped it.
He did.
So when your quarterback buys time, no matter if you're Travis Kelce, Michael Irvin, Keyshawn Johnson, Skip Bayless, whoever, you have to uncover. You go back to Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill was uncovering, making the safeties bust, ripping the football deep downfield. Kadarius Toney, and I hate to pile on to him.
Right.
Okay, real quick on him. Just remember, he tore his meniscus the first day of camp.
I understand that.
And he missed all of camp and just came back at the end of the week. Okay?
I understand. I get that.
He just wasn't ready for the speed of the game, but he was horrible. I got it. All right.
But when you uncover and your quarterback finds you on a deep crosser and he's throwing it slightly behind you for you to whirly bird, what that means is once the ball comes and you turn your body, you should be able to catch that.
Yep.
He's protecting you from the backside safety, knocking your head off. Now, yes, he missed some time. Okay, you're on the field, though. The lights are on.
I got you.
So you say he's missing Travis Kelce. Of course, he's missing Travis Kelce. third down machine for them. He had to rely on other people, Skip. He couldn't just rely on a guy standing on the sidelines.
Yep.
That doesn't help you.
All right.
What they say, you can't help the club in the tub.
You can't help the club.
You can't help the club in the tub.
Okay, go ahead.
Look, I tell you, though, what I see, I think Patrick Mahomes played pretty good.
Pretty good.
I mean, he gave you opportunities.
Man, opportunities.
That's all he can do is give you an opportunity to make the play. He gave guys the opportunity to make play. We're going to talk about this later. And it was interesting, Skip, because you made me think about stuff. Like when we talk about who's the best, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, I think Joe Burrow, when I'm thinking about it, is a better on-script player.
Sure he is.
On-script
there's
player.
no doubt.
Right, dropping back, letting go.
He doesn't have the same skill set as Patrick Mahomes. When you don't have the same skill set as somebody, you can't do the same thing.
Except for the ingredient called accuracy. Joe's a more accurate thrower of the football than Patrick.
I'm not going to say that, man. I'm not going to say that, Skip. I'm not going to say that.
We're going to talk about that now, and I got some thoughts on that, and we all do. But they play the game a little different.
Yeah, they play the game different.
Okay, let's look at a few plays from last night, shall we? Let's look at a play that happened this is 3rd and 5 from the Kansas City 12, 4 minutes left in the half. It's still obviously a very close game. And Patrick is if we could see this play, 3rd and 5 from the 12, drops back, and there's some pressure, and he throws it off his back foot and just throws it up for grabs. That ball should have been Detroit's football. My point is that these are the habits where if it's 87 probably catches that
that's
ball,
what I was
right?
going to say, too.
Okay.
I was going to say that because he kind of misjudged his jump there.
And then let's look at it.
But that's the tight end.
Right.
That's not on the quarterback.
Okay.
No,
All right. Okay.
It's not Travis Kelce.
Then the post route that he completed to Valdez Scantling, it's right before halftime. It's 1 minute and 7 left
That was
before
a
half.
throw.
Yeah, I didn't like that throw.
All right. Okay.
That's a throw, though.
To
You made the play.
To me,
look, I didn't,
23.
Look,
Hey.
I didn't like that throw. I'm going to give it to Skip.
Okay.
Look.
But that's a great throw. He took you away from the defender.
I don't like that throw.
When the ball's
if that's safety,
if
that's safety
in our day,
would have knocked
but
us
you
out.
can't do it here.
You would have gotten knocked out.
Right, yeah, we would have got knocked out, but you can't do it here.
I would have caught it. Same thing. I would have caught it. But I don't want that
and
throw.
yet, if it's Ed Reed back there, he's still running the other way with it because you're throwing it into some danger zone.
It could have been a pick, but I'm going to wait till Sunday to show your guy on some of the mistakes that he might have made.
But that's Ed Reed. Now, Skip, too. That's Ed Reed, who reads the play, he outplays the quarterback.
So that's a different I got it. Now let's go to the bitter end, okay, this last Kansas City series, and let's go to the final drop that you guys referred to by Kadarius Toney on the first down play. This is with 2:30 left in the game. It's 1st and 10 at the 45. Okay, got to catch this ball, but the ball, as Michael points out, he has to completely turn.
No, that's fine.
But the ball is a yard behind him.
Yeah, he's protecting him from that backside defensive back. That's okay. You just got to catch that. You got to catch it. It hits your hand.
It's in the area, Cole. You got to make the play. You got to make the play.
Right here, playmaker.
I can lay with both of y'all on this one. He could have made a better throw than that one because I don't have so much pressure in front of me. The closest guy to the corner.
Did he not have to 180 to catch the football? Like he had to halt his route and spin to try to catch the football. And again, he's not a great player. His punt return might have won the Super Bowl last year. Yeah. But as far as a #1 receiver, I've never thought that. That's why the Giants let him go.
I understand, but when you out there on the field and them lights is on and you in these situations, you have to figure out how to get it done. There's no excuses for it.
All right. Now let's get to glaring no Travis Kelce. Let's get to 3rd and 20 and then 4th and 25. And again, these are desperation. Most coaches just say, I give up, I punt, and let's hope we can get the ball back. But on 3rd and 20, Patrick, this is where is 87? I got to find 87. Well, he's on the sideline and civvy close, and that ball should have been picked by Gardner Johnson. All right. And then are we doing the same? Yeah, same one. Okay, he just jumped a little too quick. But here's 4th down.
That's same play.
Oh, I'm sorry, same play.
That's same play.
Yeah, same play. Now we go to 4th and 25. And again, this is pretty much hopeless. But I need 87, and I'll throw it all the way back across the field.
I need somebody to make a play. It's 4th and 25. It's a punt.
Yeah.
At that point, somebody's got to uncover and try to make a point, a play, and I'm just trying to get rid of the ball.
Okay, it's vintage Mahomes, and there have been times.
I'll take vintage Mahomes, Skip. I got 2 Super Bowls. I've been to 3. I have 5 straight AFC championship appearances at home. I will take that in a heartbeat.
The vintage connection is with 87.
Right.
That's what makes it vintage.
We understand that. We understand.
This is an interesting discussion.
That he's
hey, listen.
He's saying that Travis Kelce's the Batman. I mean, that's interesting to think about.
No,
because
stop,
this is our first time seeing him. Travis Kelce hadn't missed a game since, what, 2013?
I understand, though, but
he missed one for COVID at the end of the year.
Right. He and I got COVID that Thursday night. After I told him he gave me COVID that Thursday night.
Maybe you did.
At the Thursday night game in SoFi, I interviewed him, and then we both.
I'm sure y'all got to watch both of y'all.
Right. That's my boy. I love TK, man.
But in the end, you're sitting here saying that Travis Kelce might be Batman and the other guy might really be Robin. Not a chance.
That's a statement.
That's not a chance. How you gonna sit up there and say such a thing?
Is it possible? Is it possible there are two Batmans here? Is it possible?
No.
Well, I don't know. Among
absolutely not
catch, pass, and tight ends, he's Batman.
Right. All right. I think they're vital for each other. There's no doubt. Travis Kelce is the best out there, man. And playing to be the best to ever do it.
Much like you said, Michael, and Patrick Mahomes had a good game.
A good game.
Those other dudes have to help him.
All right. Let me make an analogy for you. Let me make an analogy for you.
He was.
With you. Back in the day, how did you get to be called playmaker? It's because I was there for every game. It was 8-88. When in doubt, Troy Aikman just looked for him, and it didn't matter. Well, listen. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you. The golden connection was 8-88. When in doubt, he's just going to get open. He's not 6 feet 5 inches tall, but he's as physical as any 6 foot 2 inch receiver whoever played. So are you. But the point is, when they got down 21-0 at San Francisco in the NFC Championship game, it's just 8-88, and Dion is covering him all game long. But it's 1-on-1, and he got the better of Dion, but Dion got the better of him on the scoreboard. Okay, they won the game. But my point is,
there is no other option.
He won the game.
There's no other option.
I can't let it go. I got to go. All right, let's get on.
But I think if Troy were sitting here right now, he'd say, yeah. He helped make me. He helped get me to the Hall of Fame, right?
They helped each other.
Okay.
But to these type of numbers and what Skip is saying, we've seen some extraordinary stuff by Patrick Mahomes, and we give him all the credit for it. But this gives us a chance to give Travis Kelce his true due. We can talk to talk about Travis Kelce, one of the greatest tight ends to ever play this game, in a different perspective. Like we see Gronk just snatch balls over people and all of that. But in this time, the way Travis, no matter what the first play is, he's going to give you a second and a third play. You talked about uncovering key. Let me tell you something. Some of these young dudes don't know how to uncover, and I'll tell you why. Because they grew up in a time where it was system beating system. You never understood leverage and how to beat a man because it's all these geniuses, offensive coordinators, scheming you open instead of you learning how to go and beat a man one-on-one and understanding how to be open. So now when plays break down and you haven't gotten schemed, you don't know how to uncover. That's the problem with a lot of these receivers. But Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce are the greatest in the business at it.
Y'all both do realize this is week 1. There's 16 more weeks to go. But we talking as if the Kansas City Chiefs are just dead.
No. But we're not saying they're dead. But if they don't get Travis Kelce back, they're dead. That's what we're saying. They're dead. That's what we're saying.
He's eventually going to come back. There's no question that there's a relationship there and a chemistry there. And he hasn't built that with these other guys at all. You mentioned Tony not getting reps in practice. Eventually, by the time we get to week 11 and 12, it'll be a totally different passing game for Patrick Mahomes as well as his receivers. It better be. Put it that way.
And my thoughts have always been this, and I alluded to it. Patrick Mahomes played the game inside out, like Tom Brady used to do it. Joe Burrow plays the ball outside in. That's why you got those outside guys receiving like Peyton Manning used to do with the quarter. You know what I mean? So watch, look at all those passes we saw. They were somewhere, those passes were missed somewhere over the middle of the field. That's all Travis Kelce. We talked about when teams try to shell them and Travis Kelce eats them up in the middle. They had an opportunity last night to eat that team up in the middle of the field.
But no Travis Kelce.
But no Travis Kelce, they couldn't do it.
Detroit, typically Aaron Ginn likes to play a lot of men, but they was playing a lot of zone last night.
Right.
A ton of it.
And Keyshawn, this Detroit team ranked 28th in defense last year, and they ranked dead last in pass defense. Now, they went out and got C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and they beefed it up. And they did. So they're some better. I don't know if they're a whole lot better than they were last year. it is week 1, but I think Patrick should have taken more advantage
he
of that
have
defense.
anything to take advantage of.
All right, there you go.
He ain't got nothing.
All right.
He ain't got nothing. Skip.
All right.
He's out there. I said it to you before. He's out there with a rookie and Rashee Rice, Kadarius Toney, Sky Moore, and MVS.
Yep.
You can't take advantage of nothing when you ain't got nothing to take advantage of.
You've been telling me he's Michael Jordan.
But
okay, Michael Jordan wins the game. He just figures it out. He just says, I'm going to win this game.
Stop. Now, we're not going to turn this into a Michael Jordan, LeBron discussion.
Okay, I don't even care about LeBron because he doesn't belong in this
discussion. At the end of the day, Michael Jordan has Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman and Horace Grant and everybody else. So stop. Don't do this to me, Skip.
All right, let's start on the Lions then.
Yeah, let's give
big
him some
picture.
love.
Let's give him some love because we all love Dan Campbell. And I said yesterday, I tweeted last night, to me, he is the Lions. He sets the tone. He is that dude. He is the guy they all look to for leadership in the locker room and on the sideline.
Yep. Don't mind if you're looking at Hutchinson, too. That
he's a bad man.
That joker be coming. But that joker got over that guard. That joker be coming.
All right, but what happened on 4th and 2 from the 17 early in that game?
Fake punt.
Yeah, let's see it. Because this is vintage Dan Campbell, right?
Yeah, glad it worked out, though.
Well,
me too.
Yeah, I'm glad
I was upset at this point because I say run the ball more. They were trying to kept getting the ball knocked down by Jared Goff, pass block. This right here was big.
But you always have to have something like this in a game when you feel to a degree you undermatched. You have to do something like that.
Well, you're on the road against the defending champs at Arrowhead.
And he shocked them with it, and they were able to convert. They go down, they score. I think it's just something to look at in terms of the future. You won't be seeing Dan do that too often. Okay. Just not,
I know, but you plant that seed of doubt.
Absolutely.
No, that was because Patrick Mahomes was on the other side.
Yeah, absolutely.
You cannot. And that's why I was saying, what are you doing? Let's focus on just continuing to run the ball. Early on, they started, he ran, we had a good first early run, and then you start trying to throw the ball. No, we had all those batted down passes. Remember early on, I was like, get back to running the football. I wanted you to break their physicality and say, man, we're running the ball on them. That would mess with their mentality, saying, well, where's Chris Jones? This wouldn't be happening if we had our guy. So we can kind of get back to where they took us when we were playing without Emmett. After a while, I was like, wait a minute. I got mad because Emmett wasn't there. That first, after we won the Super Bowl, we're coming back, we're trying to defend, and now Emmett's holding out. If we lose the first game, we lose the second game to Buffalo. The first game was okay. You kind of looking to see, okay, what we got without him. The second game, every time somebody ran the ball, I was like, man, Emmett would have got at least 5 yards. Emmett would have got at least. You know what I mean? It starts seeping into my head. And now I ain't even thinking about the game. I'm thinking about what Emmett would do. That's why I wanted you to run the ball early. Make them start thinking about Chris Jones. And they started throwing the ball, but they got back to it.
All right, enough about the Lions. It is time to talk Dallas Cowboys. My Super Bowl pick, Michael's Super Bowl pick. He's got them to win it all. I got them getting there. But the question right now is that being a little too confident? That's a good question.